This is our final episode talking about Furnace Fest to this point. This is our day three recap as well as our final thoughts on the festival overall. Bottom line is, we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. Furnace Fest was an absolutely amazing experience. The bands that played were fantastic. The setup that they had was great. I'm hopeful that another fest will take notes and we will get something similar to this at some point in time. But really interested in kind of everyone else's thoughts. What are some of the other festivals that we should be going and checking out? We have plans to go and see Sound and Fury at some point. We want to hit up This Is Hardcore. FYA always looks like a banger. But let us know what for festivals we should be catching and where we should be traveling to next. But for now, let us know your thoughts on how Furnace Fest wrapped up for you. And let's open this pit up.
All right, man. So like day three, um, this was interesting. The first day had like kind of a mix of newer and nostalgic bands. You're kind of getting the feet under you. Day two to me was what Furnace Fest was meant to be for me. Right? Like it was nostalgia bands, it was heavy bands, like it was bands that I just knew really well and was just so excited for. Day three was like kind of like modern big bands,
Yeah.
and like I felt like I had kind of done what I needed to do at Furnace Fest for day one and two. So day three to me was just like I'm gonna feel it out. I'm not gonna kill myself. Like I'm just gonna go have fun, but I'm gonna enjoy these bands because like they're current bands, but they're bands that I might not see. So I just kind of wanted to enjoy it. Um, yeah. So that's how I felt for day three. But again, Cold Hard Steel, local band, opened it up.
Which
I was not expecting them to be as good as they were.
They were awesome, dude. They were so good live. Again, it's the last day of the fest. They had a ton of guest vocal spots. The Alabama scene showed major love. The My Chill My Bride guy even hopped up on
Oh
stage and went
yeah.
and watched from the side kind of thing. So like it was fun. It was a really cool thing. We will be talking about Cold Hard still at some point because
Yep.
JT, he was dope. We went and chat with the vocalist after too. He was a cool guy. So we'll definitely be catching these guys. And I expect this is another band that could easily pop off
Yeah.
in all reality. So
Absolutely. Then we caught Ends of Sanity, North Carolina hardcore. Not a huge band, but I really like their sound. A little more metallic. Um, I think they played in the right spot. Like I don't think a ton of people would have showed up for them even later in the day, but they were a really good set.
I agree. And I'm a little bit disappointed that not more people were there because I do think if it had been a bigger crowd, I actually think that this pit would have been very violent, very
Sure.
wild
Yeah.
if it had packed in a little bit more. I think that being at 12:40 on day 3, I talked to a couple people who didn't show up till 1:32 o'clock
Right.
kind of thing. It was just it's day 3 of the fest. People are tired, people are thrashed. I thought they sounded awesome. They
Right.
were they were tight. Their sound was great. I was pumped to actually see these guys. So if they roll through your town, it is
Same.
100% a show that you should be going and catching.
Yeah. And I know they've got new music coming. I don't think they have much. I think they have like maybe a couple EPs and then just released a couple new songs like this summer. So I know they're like still growing, but they're a band that's like everyone's gonna know who Ends of Sanity is.
Yeah,
So it's cool. I hope they do a tour and I can actually see them in like a packed venue because
I
it'll be fun.
agreed. I think that they're going to end up on a pretty, at some point, they'll end up on something sick because they're a days band.
Yeah.
So I think that they'll end up being on a pretty dope show at some point or a pretty dope tour lineup. So,
Right. So then we went and caught All In for
yep.
a little bit. Caught a couple songs of theirs. Another local Birmingham band. I think they've been around a while because he was like, "This is like a new song from 2006." And
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty funny. But
And
they
I
were
know like the BHAM scene, they were all very excited to go watch All In. So they had a
Yeah.
pretty good showing. They sounded cool. They were good. I enjoyed what we listened to from those guys as well. I don't know how active they are, but it was cool to see like an old Birmingham band
Yeah.
at the final day of a Furnace
Right.
Fest.
For
So,
sure. Yeah. So then I think we went and got food,
yep, for
and
just a
then we
break.
went and hung out until Magnitude.
Yep.
So I've seen Magnitude. I think this was your first time. What did you think
Mhm.
of them?
I thought they were great. This was a band that kids were waiting for.
Yeah.
So, like, this was a little bit of a younger pit. It was kind of interesting that way. Um, but straight edge band, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, there was a lot of people who were showing out just because of the straight edge. They had like the No Cure dudes up on the side watching. Um, and I thought they were solid. They sounded super tight. Great set. It was fun. Kind of ends of sanity though.
Yeah.
I wish it would have been a little bit more packed in because I do think that it would have been a pretty wild pit as well.
Yeah.
Like it was good. Like it was fun moshing and stuff. I've got videos of it and
Yeah.
like the pit was good, but I think it could have been a little bit harder.
They have a lot of really cool like sing along parts where you can grab the
Yeah.
mic. You know, I will say though, I laughed pretty hard. I think me and you both did when he was like, "I got two words for you guys: straight effing edge." And I was like, "Ah,
You're like,
bro,
wait.
that's three words." Yeah.
So
Okay. Wait. Yeah. That
yeah,
was funny.
no, it was great. But like we knew what he was saying, but it's one of those things in like a comedy movie that it just like catches you where the two people look at each other like, is
Well,
that you?
I think of that clip from Charles Barkley. Like, it's probably been like 20 years. And he was like, "I got two words for you guys: Steve Nash and Chris Paul face off this Friday." And they're like, "Chuck, that's way more than two words." He's like, "Fine, I got two words for you: Steve Nash and Chris Paul." And they're like, "Chuck, that's still more than two words." So that's just what it
Yeah.
made me think of. But yeah, all right.
No, it was
So
great.
Magnitude was awesome. They're going to be touring a bunch though. Like,
Yeah.
they just dropped a new album this year, last year, whatever. They're awesome. I think everyone's pretty familiar with them. So we were supposed to see Incendiary after them. They unfortunately had to drop. So they had No Cure play on the main stage and moved the showdown to the Shed.
Yes.
So I am not the biggest No Cure fan. I do think it's incredible that they were up there playing after getting stabbed like a week and a half before the festival. So respect to them. Like those are some tough dudes. But what did you think of their set?
I am a big No Cure fan. This is the third time I've seen them this year. I love No Cure.
Yeah.
I found out about No Cure back when they did Cursed from Birth, I think is when I first caught them, and they were on tour with My Children, My Bride. That was the first time I had heard about these guys. So I like I've been a big fan of them for a long time. Finally caught them this year when they came through with Gideon First. That was at a 21 and older venue. It was kind of a disappointment in the crowd, not in the set. No Cure themselves were awesome. The
Yeah.
crowd wasn't the best for them. Then I caught them at Kilby on the Orthodox show with Boundaries. And dude, that show was wild.
Yeah.
But this was definitely the best No Cure set that I've seen this year.
Cool.
They were great, and especially after getting stabbed. Like, what can
Yeah.
you freaking say?
I know.
They had a guest set from Orthodox as well up there, where Orthodox came and played 3 songs.
Yeah.
And dude, like the Orthodox pit, that got freaking
It
violent
got
too.
wild. Yeah.
So
And you were probably that was probably a little bit your fault as well.
slightly, but
Allegedly.
Orthodox is an interesting band because Orthodox is a band who I've seen them a couple times this year as well. They had probably one of my favorite Kilby sets that I've seen this year. Absolutely fantastic live. Love those dudes live. I'm not a big go listen to an Orthodox album guy though. I will go see them every time they come through. They put on an incredible
Sure.
show. Furnace Fest was no different. And again, I took a hit from their guitarist. All love, like all respect to these dudes. Um, so it was way sick to see them up there and helping out the No Cure crew as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was cool. Um,
which we gotta make sure we say this. We did leave the No Cure set just slightly early to go catch Mind Force. We left one song early, and in the one song we left, some dude went to stage dive, feet first, hit a metal bar, and snapped his freaking ankle.
oh, dude, I can't even.
Dude, I found the picture of it. It's gnarly, man. Like,
That's disgusting. And
did you watch the Detroit Dallas game yesterday and see the Detroit defender snap his ankle? It looked like
okay.
freaking that, man. It was dangling. So
Good, dude. We're good. We can move on. Like seriously, we can move on. I'm all right.
that was
Right.
probably the most gnarly thing, and we weren't there to witness it, but yeah,
But we were there to witness Mind Force.
yeah,
And I'm a little bugged that Mind Force and 18 Visions were at the same time because I think I would have liked to have seen 18 Visions as well. But I'm a big Mind Force fan. My son's a big Mind Force fan. He wanted me to send him videos of Mind Force. Excuse me. And dude, we went nuts for Mind Force. Like I went bonkers. They
Mind
are
Force
so
was-
freaking good live.
yeah. It was one of the better pits of the day for
Yeah.
sure.
And
They
that
were
dude,
incredible.
that dude just cracks me up, man. Like the singer comes out in like the most New York person on the planet. He's wearing like a white and green tracksuit, and he's got like a big gold chain and stuff. And like, dude, he was hilarious, you know.
Yeah.
And they sound incredible live. Like the
Yeah.
cool guitar tones and stuff that you hear on the album, like they absolutely kill it live. And there was one time. And I don't know, dude. Like, did you see like all the people up on stage? It was through all the bands that like kept jumping off like over the vocalists. It got kind of annoying after a while because they kept bumping him, but they did that to him. And he like came up and he's like, the next person to like pull me down from stage diving is gonna catch a fist.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
was not having it. Oh, I don't know why
There
it
you
keeps
are.
doing that.
I don't know either, but it still says it's recording, so all good. But
Right.
yeah, no, it was great. It was one of the top sets of the fest as well. Absolutely incredible. Like I haven't had a chance to see them live. Have you seen them live yet?
That was my first time.
Okay. So dude, it was fun and
Yeah.
the crowd was fun for them. Like they packed like it got packed in. So that was super dope.
Yeah.
No, I mean I don't really know what else to say. I thought that their set was incredible and he was
Yeah.
like you said hilarious up there, so
Yeah, it was definitely a fun set. So after that, like I caught all of Drug Church. I think you went and sat down.
I caught part of it. I watched a little bit of it, but this was also where everyone started stage diving and we were pretty far forward. And dude, kudos to the Drug Church guy, right? Because like he prepped the crowd and told them, he's like, dude, no one's swinging during
Yeah,
us.
we're not a mosh band.
We're not a mosh band. Get up here and catch the stage divers, right? So it was a stage dive fest. It was super cool that way. I've got a hurt shoulder. I was trying to catch people with one hand
That's
and
true.
I caught my shoulder really bad. So I bailed. So
I moved like pretty far in the back because at that point, dude, my arms were so beat up I couldn't like lift them above my head.
yeah.
So like somebody crowd surfed and I was like trying to lift them, but like I couldn't get my arms up and it just hurt. So I was like, yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
getting this close. But I like Drug Church, man. They're like a really interesting sound to me, kind of unique in today's world of hardcore. And so
It is.
it
It's
was
different
cool to see.
and it's that style of hardcore that's it's like it's like softer, kind of melodic, almost starting to go towards like the pop punk realm. Like it was really cool for him to like shout out. He was like, I'm gonna shout out like Anxious and One Step Closer. Like they're very much in that realm, right? They're definitely part of the hardcore community, part of the hardcore scene, but it's just a little bit of a different sound. It's kind of softer.
Yeah,
You
it
know what I
is.
mean?
No, it's
But
like you said, they're not a mosh band, they're a stage dive band, but it's a really fun, it's a really
yeah,
fun sound, and I like them, so I'll catch them when I can. But it was cool. After that, I think we're gonna catch some hate for this.
yeah,
We did not stick around for H2O. People need to understand, and we talked a lot about this, right? That like we're not from the East Coast. Like H2O, I understand the importance of a band like that. It's just we grew up on like AFI and like the California like punk hardcore, you know. Um, we were too thrashed to like sit around for H2O. We needed a break because we were gonna be back in that stage for the next like
comeback kid.
bands, three
Yeah,
bands. So like we just had to go take a break. Like I had to go sit down.
right.
Like H2O, I know how important this band is to people. It's just not for me, right? So like
It's not
I was
even that it's not for us because like I'll listen to
no, I mean
H2O.
it's not like it's not like this is not a nostalgic band for me because I didn't grow up on H2O.
Exactly.
I
It
grew up on
wasn't
the
critical for
first
me to see these guys.
AFI albums, right?
AFI.
That's that, yeah, AFI. That's what I'm trying to say is like H2O was not like me as a kid listening to H2O
Right.
growing up, being obsessed with them, which a lot of people there were like, oh my gosh, H2O.
Right.
Awesome, dude. Like I needed to sit down.
Right. Yep.
So
100%. And knowing that Comeback Kid was next after H2O, Comeback Kid was a huge band that I wanted to
yeah,
see. So, especially like it was weird because being there and like experiencing the Bury Your Dead set, experiencing the Evergreen Terrace set, a band like Comeback Kid, where I think I had them ranked. Where did I have them ranked originally? Number 4. I had them ranked number 4. They actually probably pushed up to like number 2 for me in
nice.
terms of day 3,
Yeah,
in terms of like who I wanted to see. And it was all because of how day 1 and 2 had gone and experiencing like the type of crowd that was there, the type of pits that were there, the type of breakdowns people were moshing for. Like that is Comeback Kid.
right.
It's faster. You have the hardcore, but then you have the breakdowns. Like everyone can side to side. You can pit, you can push pit, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
That's what the crowds were there for. And Comeback Kid was an epitome
They
of
were.
that sound.
Yeah. They were really good. And you and I tried to stay in the back because we're like, dude, we're too beat up. We lasted what, 2 songs?
Something like that.
And just pushed our way to the front.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be fair, like I only moshed for Wake the Dead. Like I stood on the edge, I filmed a bunch and stuff, but it was really cool. Right at the end, they did just a slow Wake the Dead chant to get started. You said, you said, you said
Uh-huh.
this time was going to be different. And then they kicked into it, and the pit had kind of closed. That pit didn't stay closed for very
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
I made sure that pit didn't stay closed for very long. Like when Wake the Dead hit, like that was the song where I was like, this is my Comeback Kid song. This is where I'm going off. And dude, it was
Yeah.
100% worth it.
It was
So fun.
awesome. They're really good. I mean, I probably would have been a lot more pumped to see them if I hadn't just seen them like last year.
Yeah. And I haven't seen Comeback Kid in a while. I missed that show. I was supposed to go to that show while I was here. I think they played Kilby, and I can't remember why I missed it, but I unfortunately missed it.
They're
So
just so good. They're good live. They know how to perform. They're high energy. Like it's a band that I'll probably see every time they come through. You know?
yeah, I didn't love their last EP. I did
Man,
like Winter Circle or whatever, but I did like Heavy Steps.
Heavy Steps was good. Um,
That was the last album before the
yeah,
EP,
I even
right?
like
Yeah.
I even like the ones before. I don't know. I mean, I listen to a lot of Comeback Kid. I don't know. They're good. I like them. Wake the Dead is like a top 20
It
hardcore
just an
song.
anthem, yeah.
it's
For sure.
incredible. So the one thing I want to say before we move on to No Pressure is I did catch a little bit of X-Toll.
Yeah.
I'm not a death metal fan, but they sounded real good. If you were into that stuff, like I'm sure X-Toll was incredible for you. It was
Yeah.
cool to see him up there. Those guys, like their neck and shoulder muscles have to be like ridiculously strong because their bass player was just like windmilling his hair the entire time. And I'm just like, you got to have like the horse of a giraffe or a neck of a horse or a giraffe or something, dude, to be able to do that the whole time. It's
You gotta
wild.
have the horse of a giraffe.
You're gonna have a horse of a giraffe. Look, again, they're gonna when I die, they're gonna cut my brain off and be like, he had CTE, but they're gonna be like, oh, he never played professional football. Yeah, because he was a dumbass and got hit in a pit too many times, you know? So yeah.
See, and like here's the thing is I actually do I'm more the death metal guy
Yeah.
these days, right? Like and listening to them during their set, it was cool. Like we sat there for a couple songs, but I just like I
We had to
was such in a hardcore
right.
mood that like if it wasn't hardcore happening, it didn't catch my attention as well
Yeah.
this
No,
festival.
like, yeah, dude, I was full on at this festival for breakdowns.
Yeah,
That was it,
100%.
you know?
Yeah.
And these
So,
guys, yeah, they just
which
thrashed the whole time, which is cool.
exactly.
It's cool where it belongs, but it was, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to see him so I could say I saw X-Toll.
Right.
That was it, right? And
Right.
people are gonna be like, "Well, what the f is wrong with you?" Because H2O played at the same time. Okay, whatever. Like we heard H2O because we were sitting down next to the shed. So,
Right.
you know, whatever. But
Close
yeah,
enough.
it
But
was cool to see X-Toll. But yeah, all right. Anyways, after that, No Pressure.
okay. So, and this is where I was saying, like, I was there for hardcore. This
Yeah,
set didn't hit like I was expecting it to hit. I was super excited for this set. A lot of people were really amped up for this set. I think, listen, this is purely my observation. We've talked a lot about how Parker Cannon just doesn't look happy up on stage
yeah.
anymore. And I kind of just don't think he likes to be touched. Because, like, when he was up there and he was singing, like, he looked like he was having fun. He looked like he was enjoying singing and stuff like that. But then he, like, egged the crowd to, like, come sing with him and stuff. But as soon as someone touched him, he immediately was frowning. Like, I don't think that he enjoyed people grabbing him, touching him,
So
which to be fair, I don't think I would have loved that either, right? But if you're gonna play that and say that, like, expect it. So
I don't think he wants to be there. I wonder if he's kind of just he's done this for a long time consistently, right? I mean, a lot of these other bands, like you could feel their energy because it's like, oh, we haven't played in whatever, you know, 5 years. We haven't done a lot of this. And it's like, so, but he's consistently been in this like environment. And I wonder if he's just like getting tired of it. The other thing is, I saw them like 2 years ago with Koyo in this little tiny venue, like little tiny, like 100-person max, tiny venue. And like he looked like he had fun there. Maybe that's the other part of it. Maybe he just doesn't enjoy the festival crowd. I
maybe
don't know.
it's too big. I don't know.
But you're right. I was a little disappointed by it too. Like it was okay. It was cool to watch them. I know their songs. I like No Pressure.
Yeah, I did too.
That
I
was
wonder if that had been in like the Mind Force slot earlier in the day or something, where maybe there was a little bit more activity or something, if it would have had a different vibe. But it was just, I don't know, it was just weird. Like I
yeah.
was really, really excited to see No Pressure finally. And I don't know.
I wonder if a lot of people weren't going nuts for them because Trapped Under Ice was next.
That's true. I do think that the crowd was a little bit thin. I was surprised at how thin
Yeah.
the crowd was for No Pressure. I thought there was going to be more people. I know Norma Jean was packed.
Mm,
I think a lot of people moved from Comeback Kid straight to Norma Jean.
okay.
So, I think that had a big effect on it too, which after seeing that Norma Jean played Memphis Will Be Laid to Waste with Josh,
That's the only song. I don't care about anything after like Redeemer.
yeah, I like Norma Jean.
So
I would have, I should have walked over and caught that one, but I had No Pressure as my number 2 band I wanted to see on the last day.
Right.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just think that in the end, I was there for hardcore. I was there for heavy music, and I just don't think that No Pressure fit into that. They would have been a really fun band on day 1, I think, or possibly earlier in
Sure.
the day on day 3.
Yeah. That's fair.
So,
So yeah. All right. Next band we saw, TUI Till I Die, Trapped Under Ice. Before I catch more hate, I'm going to ask you what you thought of them.
I was really excited to see them. I was pumped. And here's the thing, they were pretty low on my list when we were doing the initial ranking. I had them like 8 of wanting to
Okay.
see. Um, they're not a band I listened to a ton. Like I've listened to TUI and stuff, but I've probably listened to more Turnstile and I've probably listened to more Angel Dust than I've listened to TUI in
Yeah.
the end. So they weren't a band I was super enthusiastic to see, but after a full weekend of hardcore, I was really pumped to see TUI. And I feel like the crowd responded appropriately for TUI.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I think for the last day, last set of the shed, I thought that you got as much energy as could get mustered out
Okay.
of that crowd.
And maybe that was the problem. A lot of people that we talked to, like there was that one guy, that bigger dude that was like, better watch out when TUI comes out, man. Like you better watch out. And then he moshed like one time. And I
Yeah.
just like, I feel like the expectation of everyone was like, dude, this is going to be just like absolutely bonkers. And it was like only medium level bonkers. Like it wasn't even like, I don't know. Like I just sat there looking, I was like, well, so when's this going to get serious? Like
Yeah.
when's this going to get aggressive and violent? Cause like it didn't feel like that. And maybe it was the set that TUI played too. I don't know. Like I've listened to TUI too. And I just remember their music not being as like goofy as what it sounded like when we listened to them. If that
Maybe.
makes sense. Like it sounded more like an Angel Dust. Like it felt to me more of like an Angel Dust set than like an actual Trapped Under Ice. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm way off there, but it didn't feel like a full blown hardcore set to me.
I wasn't really planning on moshing for TUI because it was the last band at the shed. I knew that I wanted to at least last through Under Oath.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to do what we did during Under Oath, but so I just wanted to last through TUI. So I only moshed like once or twice. I think you're right. I think I did expect it to be more violent because like even before the set, there was a couple people who came down and we were like, "Don't stand there.
Yeah.
Like you don't understand what's about to happen if
Right.
you're standing there." And I think you're right. I don't think it lived up to quite that hype, but I also think that's a symptom of day 3, 8:50 at night,
Yeah, it could be.
trashed.
But then again, like Dave Franken Under Oath was wild. So
I think we made Under Oath wild though.
all right.
Like I don't know if Under Oath was as wild if you got behind the pit. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's fair.
So, but are you ready? Are we getting into this?
Yeah, we can get an Under Oath. Sure.
Because
It's my favorite set. It's the favorite show that I've seen in years.
that level.
Yeah.
So
It was
you just go.
it was
You say it.
full nostalgic factor. Like I was telling my wife this. I was like, They're Only Chasing Safety came out in 2002. I'm like 11, 12 years old. I've listened to that album almost 2 decades. No,
Yeah.
I've listened to it for 2 decades.
Yeah, because it was the 20 year.
This is 20 year. Like
Yeah.
literally this, and I was like, this album has been like a part of my childhood. It has been there. And we talked about this on our Under Oath episode. Like They're Only Chasing Safety and Define the Great Line are some of the like most important albums that we ever listened to. Right. I still, like I told you the other day, like even after Furnace Fest, Writing on the Walls came on and it made me emotional just thinking about it. It was outside of Teeth. It was the perfect set they could have played.
100%.
It was incredible. I saw people crying in the crowd, singing to some of their songs. Like it was unbelievable. The way they opened it, like I know you had a little issues with whatever.
So listen, I'll get into that, okay? Because I was really concerned about the stage setup. It looked really weird. It looked very
Yeah.
gimmicky.
So they're
I
doing
thought
that. They're doing the same thing on their tour now.
now that I know what they've done, I actually think it's pretty cool. It was pretty fun. It made it actually a really cool set, especially at Furnace Fest. I don't know if it would be as fun. I think it'd be pretty gimmicky with a barricade at a
Yeah.
regular venue. I think that it's just kind of silly, right? But so for anyone who hasn't seen yet, if you're looking at the stage, they have Tim up front, they have Grant up front left, they have Grant on bass playing front right. What's the keyboarder's name? I don't remember. Keyboarder back right, Aaron back left, and then they put a leather couch right in the middle of the stage. And then they put a bunch of lamps around the couch. I thought this was going to be a huge gimmick thing.
Yeah.
Like when we walked over there, I was actually very disappointed.
You kept saying it.
I was like, this is like, they're going to ruin it. This has been an incredible weekend. They're going to do something silly for this new version of Under Oath. And it's going to ruin everything that I expected. I cannot say how wrong I was. Like, they come out, it's just Aaron who comes out initially. They start singing Some Will Seek Forgiveness, Others Will Escape. And the crowd immediately starts singing along with them. And dude, that's like where like the goosebumps started. You know what I mean? I will say I was a little bit disappointed in Spencer for not giving the crowd the screaming, Jesus, I'm ready to come home.
Yeah.
So they cut it off right before that. Aaron goes, Jesus, I'm ready to come home. And then they stop that song. And then they go into the album.
Yeah.
And I was a little disappointed
that we did it. Just play the song.
Just do it. Give us that part. Give us the yell. Or at least like at the end of the set. How wild would it have been after the final song of that to just end with Jesus, I'm ready to come home, right?
Yeah.
I don't care if you're religious or not, right? That is such just like a fanfare thing to do. Right.
Yeah.
That people like. They like it. They enjoy it. They want to scream along with it. So like I was a little bit disappointed in that. But as soon as that first song kicked in, we pushed straight up front.
Yeah.
Like we went.
We went way up front. And I was like, I was way up front. Like I said, people were like crying, dude. It was incredible. Everyone around us was like singing just every word. We all knew all the words. And like people were push pitting, cool. Like do what you're going to do for those songs. Like it's fine. I don't care. Then they played, what's the song that I'm Drowning in My Sleep? What's that song called? Boy Brush Red. No, it's
no, that's not a Boy Brush Red.
I don't know.
Oh my, Dangerous Business, Walk Out Your Front Door.
Okay, yeah. There we go. So I don't think people were fully prepared for all the Trapped Under Ice hardcore kids to show up to Under Oath. And this is with the comment that I was making earlier about He Is Legend, is there were some people that like I'd gone to battle with, not like fighting, but like side by side moshing together hard all weekend. And we were all singing freaking cheesy Under Oath lyrics from 20 years ago. It was incredible, right? But I don't think the crowd was like fully prepared for all the hardcore kids to show up. Because when they played Dangerous Business or whatever, and they do the Drowning in My Sleep, and I'm freaking clawing and climbing on top of people and kneeling on like 4 people's heads just to scream the I'm drowning in my sleep part. Like, I don't think they were ready for that. Right. And then I fell down because I'm a fat guy and they couldn't lift me up and stuff. But that set for They're Only Chasing Safety, dude, was just so good. Like they sounded so good.
It was incredible. And can like to add on to the old guy climbing on people, not only did you come back to me, but you started digging through the backpack looking for new earplugs.
Yeah, dude, 'cause I
Like,
was
I'm
like,
sure everyone around us is like, what is happening right
yeah.
now? Because we're like pulling stuff out of the backpack, looking for your earplugs because you can't make it through 2 songs.
There was way more than 2 songs, dude. It was like half their set I would have had. I don't know. I wanted to enjoy it. I didn't want my ears to hurt. And it worked
It
out,
was
right?
great.
It worked
We
out.
found them. We
So
found
then,
them.
yeah, dude, after they finished that set, they played their do you have anything else to say about their Lane Chasing Safety?
No, man. Like, so we did pretty good to stay hydrated throughout the whole thing. We did not get water after Trapped Under Ice,
Yeah.
and I was feeling it hard during this.
Yeah.
I totally lost my voice screaming along
Yep.
to They're Only
Same.
Chasing Safety. It was just front to back, nonstop, and like screaming.
Yeah.
Like straight up, it probably seemed like a little girl.
Yeah.
Like
We
it
all did.
was,
Everyone did.
it
Everyone
was
around me.
insane.
There was people like actually screaming, like
Right.
actually doing the screams. And like, who was I to judge that, man? Because I was yelling right along with. I can't scream, so like I was just yelling. But like, same thing, dude.
Dude, I was
So
going
yeah.
for it,
So
man.
they finished. They finished their Only Chasing Safety, and then they played their new song. And I don't know if you noticed, dude. No one cared about it.
No. And like I said this to you, like if Under Oath doesn't go home and realize what they have after doing the 20-year, they're only chasing safety, seeing the crowd and how they respond to that, and then watching their set during Teeth, maybe they're up there rocking out and just ignoring it or whatever. And what, but then they played their last 5 fan voted songs. And again, seeing the crowd just erupt.
Go wild.
If you can't go home and be like, guys, maybe we're done writing new music and maybe we're only playing reunion shows from now
Dude,
on.
they don't even look, dude. They don't even have to do that. They could just say like, okay, maybe we don't need to write this techno bullcrap. Maybe we need to go back to writing actual music.
Yeah, I just think that they're done. They're done with like the metalcore phase, right? So like,
Well, clearly none of us are done with it. So
I know.
you know,
Hopefully, I don't know. You know what? If you'll give me a 20-year reunion set of They're Only Chasing Safety, if you'll give me a 20-year of Define the Great Line, if you'll give me a 20-year of Lost in the Sound, like I will continue to support you.
yeah, that's fair.
I will not be catching your shows in between.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
I feel the same way. So, anyways, you brought up like after their new song, they played 5 fan voted songs. Could not have asked for better songs, dude. So I think they started with I've Got 10 Friends and a Crowbar, right? No, they started with Breathing in a New Mentality. Okay. So you hear the like just the drum, and I turn and look at you, and we both kind of like nod. And dude, like I don't think I moshed that hard the whole weekend. Like me and you just like bulldozed like all these people, and dude, I was swinging to like knock. You know the cartoons where they get shot through the stomach and it like blows a hole through them. That's how hard I was swinging. I was trying to do that to someone.
I don't think that anyone expected that level of moshing to happen because that wasn't happening during They're Only Chasing Safety. Obviously, we could care less about Teeth. Right. So, like, when that happened and we showed up, like, I think it caught a few people off guard.
And so we were respectful, right? Like, we tried to clear it, and I didn't mosh on the edge of the pit because I knew who was there. So, like, I wasn't out for blood for people. Yeah. I tried to clear it and then got in the middle and started swinging and stuff. And then all of a sudden you see like all the other guys we were moshing to all the other bands with show up.
They all showed up.
And they start swinging. But those breakdowns in Breathing in a New Mentality, you could put up against any of the hardcore bands we saw that weekend.
Oh, for sure.
Like where he's screaming like, what does he say? Like, I'm the desperate and you're the savior. And it just goes right into like that heavy breakdown. Dude, like, I was like, it was a good thing no one was by me because I was like, I was out for blood. When I was swinging, dude. It was insane.
So they play that one. The next one is I've Got a Crowbar and 10 Friends, right? Yeah. Which, I'll be honest, I don't care for that song. I
Oh,
know
really, dude?
people
I
I
love
know
it.
people love it. And I know it's such a deep cut that like it's like such a fan favorite. That was the one in the 5 song set though that I was like, I've listened to this song enough.
Mm,
Give me something I can sing along to or something off. Give me another Sound of Separation or give me a disambiguation song,
no,
honestly.
no. Play I've got 10 friends in a crowbar. I don't need it. No, no. Sorry, man. No.
It was
I'm
fine.
gonna say, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. No.
Everyone loved it. I'm
Yeah.
totally there for it. You know what? Like it wasn't the song that I would have picked, but being around everyone and watching everyone, it was awesome because the next song is where I lost my absolute shit. Like I even right now feel a little bit bad about it, right? But
We've talked about this song a lot.
so
So
we're sitting there, they wrap up, and I just go, it's in regards to myself. Like before it even started, it's in
yeah.
regards to myself. That reel started clicking, and people did not expect it. The reel started clicking, and I was swinging during the reel clicks. I put my hands into someone's chest and shoved them 15 feet across
Yeah.
the pit to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And like I was going hard
Yeah.
through
See,
that entire first part, through that first breakdown. Yeah, I
I
lost
was like
myself.
completely out of breath for moshing to breathing the new mentality that I was like standing on the edge and somehow the pit like moved for me. And that one guy that we made friends with was like swinging and going backwards. And I like turned up and blocked dude. And he hit me like 4 times in the back. And I was like, dang, dude, like I wasn't even trying to be here. But yeah, man, like people moshed hard to that song.
Yeah.
So
Like I felt a little bit bad because I hit that one side. I went to the other side. I went back, and when I came back across, I got kicked by like 6 people. They were not happy over on
yeah.
that side. So like absolutely lost it. Incredible. And then the next thing that happens, When the
When
Sun
the sun
Sleeps
sleeps,
in
dude.
2024, dude.
It's a bummer Maylene didn't play the fest and then had him come out and do it.
Oh, how insane would that have been to have Dallas out there with
Yeah.
him?
But it was, I mean, they even said like it's been 20 years since they played it, and they're like, we probably won't ever play it again. Like
Yeah,
just
well,
hearing the like, the like keyboard thing, they're like, bang, 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 like
right.
whatever the keyboard does. And yeah, dude, you could tell everyone was like pretty emotional when
Yes.
that song played. So
Yes.
it was incredible. And then they finished with Writing on the Walls. And this one, dude, this one got me right in the feels. Like
Yeah.
when Aaron leads out singing and Spencer was like, everyone get up here or whatever. So I run and like climb up on people and I crowd surf all the way up. Some guys up on the like, they built like the wood platforms on these for people to jump off of. Some guys on that, like grabbing people and pulling them up.
Yeah.
So I'm like rolling on top of everyone and I turn and we like link arms and he pulls me up and there's a bunch of people up on stage while he's singing and I get up there and I'm around back and like, I'm like, F this. So I turn to the guy behind me. I was like, dude, lift me up. So he grabs me, throws me up and I'm on stage on top of everyone, like over Spencer screaming the lyrics to the song. And that's the picture that they had on the Furnace Fest page is me freaking like right on top of Spencer
Yeah.
screaming, dude. It
There's a
was,
pretty iconic photo now that's going to be going around.
yeah.
And here's Kyle's stupid goatee on the top of everyone.
I mean, dude, you can see the like emotion in my face because I'm screaming the lyrics, dude. It was, I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years, man. And that's like one of my favorite moments. Cause that's a song that like means so much to me. Like I'm not that person I was when that song came out, but it brings back the feelings of it, and to be up there on stage, climbing on top of people, screaming to the song that meant so much to me. Like, dude, it pulled my heartstrings like real, real hard.
100%. And I even posted this on Instagram or whatever. I'm like, Kyle is married, he has kids, And still, there might not be a better moment in his life than climbing on top of Spencer
Yeah,
with Under Oath at Furnace Fest.
it
So,
was. I mean, it was spectacular. Yeah, and then like I jumped down and like stage delve off, and I feel bad for whoever I landed on because, again, I'm not a small dude, and like I went back to the pit and like I was so out of breath.
oh,
Like
I
I
was
was so out of breath.
trashed. I
Yeah.
filmed that entire last song. Like, I knew how memorable that was going to be. I wanted to capture it. And it's funny. I've watched it a couple of times with my wife, and I'm like, "Watch right here. Here comes Kyle. You see his head come
See
up,
me pop
and then
up.
you see his tan pants and roll it over the front."
Yeah, dude. I like it's
So
funny. I mean, the picture they got of me like was literally right before I just like rolled off of
rolled
everyone and
over.
fell off.
It's
Yeah,
great. So, dude, overall, like, again, I don't know. It's a toss up for me between Under Oath and Bury Your Dead. Under Oath definitely hit the nostalgia feel, but the way that Bury Your Dead like set the tone for the
yeah,
weekend, it's something that will always be memorable, especially because Matt literally like 2 songs ago goes, I've been thinking about this is my last Bury Your Dead set.
yeah,
All of a sudden that also just changed the
and,
direction of
yeah,
everything that had happened that set too. It was incredible. I'm super bummed that we waited 3 years to go to a Furnace Fest and it was the last one,
I know.
but it just made me excited for whatever we decide to do next.
Yeah, I just it was the perfect weekend. It was the perfect mix of all the music that I'm a fan of. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna make it out to Sound and Fury sometime. I'm gonna make it to This Is Hardcore. Like I'm gonna make it to these festivals, but it's just not gonna hit the same that I'm gonna be able to hear He Is Legend, Under Oath, Coheed and Cambria, and like to see Under Oath without a barricade, their guitarist was like, this might be the last time we ever play without a barricade. And
Right?
so like to be the person that I am now in the music scene that I'm in now, but to go and relive some of these bands that I grew up with that like I didn't get that same experience because I wasn't really old enough to really do it and to be able to do it with them.
Yeah.
Like there won't be a festival the same unless Warp Tour figures it out. Warp Tour was close to this, right? But Warp Tour never had like you got like one straight up hardcore band on Warp Tour, and
Yeah.
the rest were all like metalcore or post hardcore or emo or whatever, right? Pop punk. This was a festival I felt like that was made for me.
Yeah.
Like even the bands I didn't get to see, like Glitterer, like that's incredible that they're at the same festival. And like it's such a shame that they're not going to do this anymore because there's not another festival like it.
Totally agreed. Mike Zimmer, I think that's how you say your name. Let's figure it out, man.
Hit us up, dude. We'll help.
I mean, we're nobodies, but no, for real, man. I hope that something gets even semi close to what this was. When we were Young Fest, not going to be the same. LDB, FYA, all of that kind of stuff. It's straight hardcore.
Yeah.
This is hardcore, straight hardcore. I absolutely enjoyed every single hardcore band, but what you're saying about the nostalgia hit, that's absolutely true. I don't know if we'll get that nostalgia punch ever again,
I don't think so.
and it's a shame. So
Yeah.
I don't think Warped Tour is going to get it right. It's going to be When We Were Young Fest 2.0 that's traveling, and
Yeah.
it's not going to be fun. So
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's interesting to say that this is like a top moment in my life so far.
it's
But
weird, right?
like this is the importance of what this music is to us. That's why we're doing this stupid podcast.
Right.
Like we talked about it on our 1 year anniversary. Like we've been doing this a long time. We never really had a way to give back. Like, now we can give back doing a podcast, trying to help, local bands, young bands get discovered or meet each other or whatever. But like going to a festival like this has just reinforced like everything that I've believed in and been a part of these last 20 something years. And I don't regret any of it. I don't regret that my hand's jacked up right now or all the times I got hurt as a kid too.
Right.
Like this festival just reaffirmed like all the music that got me through whatever tough times or whatever it was, you know, and you just like it'll never be the same.
Right. Right. And again, guilty pleasure for us, like as much as this podcast, like we do this podcast for ourselves, but because of this, we've met some awesome, incredible people. Like we talked about, we hung out with the Delta Hate people a little bit. We talked to the commodity guys. We talked to the cold hard steel guys.
We talked to the freaking With
We
Honor
got
guitarist, dude.
to
Like
hang out with Jay and Jeff Ost from With Honor.
I have their poster right here. Like I got to hang out with those guys. Like it's a band that I freaking love and look up to, you know?
Absolutely.
We were friends. Like we talked like we were friends, you know?
Right. So between all of that stuff, the new people we met, like, dude, there was a lot of people that we connected with at this, and super grateful for this music is the way that we come together. The agreed upon violence is how we become friends.
Yeah,
So,
dude. I mean, like I said about that Under Oath dude, like he hit me in the back a bunch of times, but like I felt like we were friends with them at the end. Like we follow each other on social media now. Like
absolutely.
you just don't find that anywhere else, you know?
Absolutely.
Damn.
And, you know, like, again, when we got there, we bumped into some Utah folks. We hung out with the Utah crowd while we were there. It's just one of those things where it's just like, you might have only talked to someone once or twice, but then you're there and you're with them the entire weekend.
Yeah. Well, like I met up with that dude from Dallas, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey man, I know you," and he's like, "You know me?" I was like, "Yeah, I was the one that almost smashed you when we in the pit when we saw Comeback Kid like a year ago." He's like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." So like, Andy, if you're listening to this, man, like, what up, bro? Like that's just, but that's what I'm saying is like, you know, like you just don't make the same friendships, and I think it speaks a lot to what this is. So
Totally agree. So, well, we are back at it. We missed 1 week, but I don't think we're going to be missing again coming up here. We've got some bands scheduled to come on.
yeah, we may or may not have a band that played this festival that we will be talking to.
We're working through those details, and hopefully that one comes together because that was going to be awesome. So we've got that. We've got a couple of our old friends who've released new music who we want to get back on and talk about their awesome new releases as well. So bottom line is go to freaking live music, man.
Yeah.
If you've made it all the way to the end and you get anything from this, go to a live show. It is, if you haven't been in 15 years, just reignite that flame.
Yeah.
So absolutely incredible. I'm glad that we went there together again, like 25 years doing this together.
Yeah.
It was as nostalgic as anything to get hit by you. So, you know,
same, man. I caught a couple strays from you.
I almost took one right between the legs from you. I have a nice bruise on my thigh. So, but yeah, man, ton of fun. I'm going to split this into 2 episodes. So beyond that, just catch you guys next week.
Yep. All right, man. See ya.
Peace.